Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. The recitation today is the 28th Pauri of Jup Pauri, which is read as follows. Munda Santokh, Saram Pat Choli, Dhyan Ki Karhe Bibhut, Khinta Kal Kuari Kaya, Jugat Danda Partit, Ai Panthi Sagal Jamati, मन जीता जगजीत आदेश तिसय आदेश आद अनील अनाद अनाहत जुग जुग एको वेस. Now stanzas 28 through 31, that is this Pauri and the next three, should be treated as a continuum because they share a common theme, namely ethics, morality, devotion, and in fact speak of elitism versus popular consciousness. In other words, the stanzas lay the foundation of what an ideal lifestyle would be and which would form the social blueprint of a perfect society. And the stanzas, you will notice, make explicit reference to symbols and practices of Nath yogis, mostly followers of Gorakhnath, who were very influential during Guru Nanak's time. Now, we can't clearly dwell at too much length on these Nath yogis here, but we feel that it is essential for us to understand that Guru Nanak had frequent and lively discussions with them during his travels. Their philosophy and outlook was influential enough and we suspect attractive enough to the layperson to draw the Guru into extended contact and conversations with them, some of which are recorded in the Guru Granth Sahib. Now, the lifestyle, also called a jugat or method of the Aipanth yogis, whom Guru Nanak appears to be addressing in these stanzas, was characterized by a general withdrawal from the world, detachment, asceticism, individualism, with a focus on physical hatha yoga and some esoteric tantric practices. They usually went about begging for alms because they didn't stay in one place for too long, went door to door with a begging bowl called pat and a bag slung over their shoulder, choli, wore large earrings, mundas, in split ears, and their bodies were smeared with ashes, bibhut, and wore a loose patched coat called a khinta and carried a staff in one hand, the danda. What Guruji has done is that he has used the Nathpanthis as a backdrop to reiterate the inner qualities or virtues discussed concerning dharam that he's been emphasizing, and he appears to be exhorting the yogis to practice control over the mind instead of punishing the body. Now, he may be using the Nathpanthis as a backdrop, but the message is for all of us, you and I, and whoever was listening at the time. And so we do grasp also some inner qualities that he specifically mentions, which we can kind of get a sense of since he's been talking about inculcating virtues. And some of these are, that we notice in these pauris, santokh, contentment, saram, which has a dual meaning of modesty or turning the eye inward, as well as hard work, shram from the Sanskrit, dhyan, which is focus or orientation, chastity and self-discipline, where he talks about Kuari Kaya, and discernment, Partiti, a Catholic and universal outlook, which is Aipanthi, Sagal Jamati, and knowledge, Bhugat Gyan, knowledge being your relish. And by stressing these inner virtues and qualities over external pieties, Guru Nanak makes a fundamental departure, though not explicitly stated in these four stanzas, but we can sense a departure, a break, which he records in the Siddh Gosht, from the established social pattern and value system of the day. That is the import of these four standards. Take the idea of dharma, for example. Dharma during his time was based on the notion of a hierarchical social pattern, which was legitimized by a caste system and was governed by the law of karma. Now, in such a universe, dharma was fixed and confined to the execution of an individual's caste functions, duty for duty's sake. Any departure was viewed as an attempt to destabilize the social order and was met with dire consequences. It certainly brought intervention, generally not to the liking of the lower castes. Guru Nanak's deep social concern for an egalitarian society is very evident, on the other hand, and he repeatedly in his writings brings out the plight of the masses under unjust and immoral rulers, charlatans, and a corrupt priestly class. And he criticizes the yogis for escaping to the mountains and living an escapist, selfish lifestyle. And so what he does is he makes contentment, santokh, as the principle of dharma. And in so doing, he breaks down this established hierarchical pattern. No longer is an individual trapped in a caste-based fixed role. Instead, moral action becomes the equalizer and sets an egalitarian and democratic tone in society. So let's try to render this passage, the 20th passage, in English. Munda santokh sarampat choli dhyan ki karhe vibhut. The way we've interpreted this is contain. Munda has two meanings, earrings and to contain, to seal. So we've opted to use to contain. And our interpretation reads as follows: contain the mind with contentment, santokh, and with an inward orientation, dhyan, work hard, saram, and with honor, pat, and with focus, and reduce to ash, the vibhut, the mind's infantile ego. Khinta kal kuari kaya, jugat tanda pratit. Keep the body instrument, which is temporary and subject to time, healthy, and be chaste. Make discernment your guide, jugat danda pratit. Note, though, that when we use the word chaste, we are not using it to imply celibacy, because in Guru Nanak's thought, chastity is to clean oneself of the infantile ego. So we are using the word chaste here to mean self-discipline. Ai Panthi, Sagal Jamati. A Catholic or a universal outlook is the true path. Ai Panthi. Tame the mind and master yourself. Man jeeta, jag jeet. That is the hallmark of a successful life. Ades tise ades, ad anil anad anahat, jug jug eko ves. Submit and surrender to that one which is primal, that is the creator, immaculate, flawless, the unstruck sound that is without change, that operates in us as the self. With those thoughts, we leave you until the next time. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.